3772. How can a military airport be identified at night? A. Alternate white and green light flashes. B. Dual peaked, too quick, white flashes between green flashes. C. White flashing lights with steady green at the same location. The correct answer is B. At night, a military airport can be identified by observing the unique light pattern emitted by its rotating beacon. The rotating beacon at a military airport typically emits a specific sequence of light flashes that help distinguish it from other types of airports or heliports. The light pattern consists of dual-peaked or two quick white flashes between green flashes. This distinctive sequence is specific to military airports and serves as a visual cue for pilots to identify the presence of a military facility. By recognizing this light pattern, pilots can differentiate a military airport from other nearby airports or heliports. It helps pilots navigate and approach the correct facility, ensuring safe operations and adherence to specific military procedures, if applicable. It's important for pilots to be aware of the unique identification features of military airports, including the specific light patterns emitted by their rotating beacons. This knowledge enhances situational awareness and facilitates accurate identification of the intended destination. 3762-1. Which approach and landing objective is assured when the pilot remains on the proper glide path of the VASI? A. Runway identification and course guidance. B. Safe obstruction clearance in the approach area. C. Lateral course guidance to the runway. The correct answer is B. The Visual Approach Slope Indicator, VASI, is a system of lights installed beside the runway that provides vertical guidance to pilots during approach and landing. It consists of a series of lights that emit either red or white signals, indicating whether the aircraft is above, below, or on the desired glide path. When the pilot remains on the proper glide path indicated by the VASI lights, it ensures safe obstruction clearance in the approach area. By maintaining the correct glide path, the pilot ensures that the aircraft is at the appropriate altitude at each stage of the approach, allowing for safe clearance of any obstacles or terrain in the vicinity. The VASI helps the pilot establish and maintain the correct vertical profile during the approach, providing visual cues for a stabilized descent. By following the VASI lights and maintaining the desired glide path, the pilot ensures that the aircraft remains clear of any obstacles or obstructions that may exist in the approach area. While the VASI provides vertical guidance to the pilot, it does not directly provide runway identification or lateral course guidance. The primary objective of the VASI is to assist the pilot in maintaining a proper descent path and ensuring safe obstacle clearance during the approach. 3764. A below glide slope indication from a pulsating approach slope indicator is A. Pulsating white light. B. Steady white light. C. Pulsating red light. The correct answer is C. A pulsating approach slope indicator, PAPI, is a visual aid installed beside the runway to provide vertical guidance to pilots during approach and landing. It consists of a series of lights that emit either red or white signals, indicating whether the aircraft is above, below, or on the desired glide slope. When a pilot observes a below glide slope indication from a PAPI, it is represented by a pulsating red light. The pulsating red light indicates that the aircraft is below the desired glide slope and should adjust its descent to achieve the proper approach path. The PAPI uses a simple and intuitive color coding system to provide guidance to the pilot. A below glide slope indication with pulsating red lights serves as a clear visual cue to the pilot, indicating that the aircraft is flying too low in relation to the desired glide slope. By adjusting the aircraft's descent rate and aligning with the desired glide slope indicated by the PAPI lights, the pilot can ensure a safe and controlled approach to the runway. 3120. While operating in Class D airspace, each pilot of an aircraft approaching to land on a runway served by a visual approach slope indicator, VASI shall A. Maintain a 30 glide until approximately half a mile to the runway before going below the VASI. B. Maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope until a lower altitude is necessary for a safe landing. C. Stay high until the runway can be reached in a power-off landing. The correct answer is B. When operating in Class D airspace and approaching to land on a runway served by a visual approach slope indicator, VASI, pilots are required to follow specific procedures to ensure a safe approach and landing. One such procedure is to maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope until a lower altitude is necessary for a safe landing. The VASI provides vertical guidance to pilots during the approach and landing phase. It consists of a series of lights that emit either red or white signals, indicating whether the aircraft is above, below, or on the desired glide slope. By maintaining an altitude at or above the glide slope indicated by the VASI, the pilot ensures that the aircraft remains on the proper descent path. This helps to ensure a stabilized approach and allows for a safe landing. Deviating below the glide slope prematurely can result in an unsafe descent profile or a premature descent that may lead to a hard landing or an obstacle clearance issue. Therefore, pilots should follow the guidance of the VASI and maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope until a lower altitude is necessary for a safe landing. 3121. When approaching to land on a runway served by a visual approach slope indicator, VASI, the pilot shall A. Maintain an altitude that captures the glide slope at least 2 miles downwind from the runway threshold. B. Maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope. C. Remain on the glide slope and land between the two light bar. The correct answer is B. When approaching to land on a runway served by a visual approach slope indicator, VASI, pilots are required to adhere to specific procedures for a safe approach and landing. One such procedure is to maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope. The VASI provides vertical guidance to pilots during the approach and landing phase. It consists of a series of lights that emit either red or white signals, indicating whether the aircraft is above, below, or on the desired glide slope. To ensure a safe approach, pilots should maintain an altitude at or above the glide slope indicated by the VASI lights. This means adjusting the aircraft's descent rate and vertical profile to remain on or above the glide slope path provided by the VASI. By maintaining an altitude at or above the glide slope, pilots ensure a stabilized descent and reduce the risk of flying too low or deviating from the correct approach path. This helps to ensure a safe landing with proper obstacle clearance and a smooth touchdown.